The Icons of Real Estate podcast. Are you ready to learn the proven money-making secrets from eXp's top-producing icon agents? If you are an ambitious eXp agent ready to skyrocket your business, this podcast is for you. Tune in every week with your host, Tomasz Fonseca, and find out how to implement proven strategies to 10 times your eXp business, from $3 million to $30 million in just 12 months. Brought to you by the Masters in Real Estate Marketing, Arter SEO.
Hello guys, and welcome once again to an episode of the eXp Realty Masters podcast, brought to you by the Real Estate Masters Summit. With us today, we have Gogo Bethke. She's the founder of Gogo's Real Estate and Gogo's Bootcamp and team lead at Team Gogo. Go, Team Gogo. Counting with almost 700 agents located in more than 30 states and 4 countries. She's close to 1 billion in production in 2021, and I do believe she will get there. Starting from the ground, she found an organic way to lead generate without having to spend any money, leveraging the power of social media. Gogo is a known face here on the Real Estate Master Summit. Actually, she was already a speaker on the first edition. So now on this podcast, we'll show you more of her eXp adventure, and she will show us why she is called the social media queen. Welcome to the show, Gogo.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, let's get this started. What if you brief us on your real estate journey?
Well, first of all, let me apologize for my very professional attire today, right? So yesterday being the first day of the month, it's numbers, right? Everybody needs to get paid and all of our trackers needs to be ran and my taxes needs to be paid. And so it's just been like that. So I feel like I've been backpedaling. I woke up really early today. I had to shoot more content for my social media course. And today I didn't have to have makeup on because I was doing more of the screen sharing and shooting video that way. So this is what you get today, but the thing is the knowledge is in my head, right? So I'm not here to impress you with my looks today. I'm here to impress you with my knowledge. So a little bit about me. I got licensed in 2011. You can hear it from my accent, just like Thomas has an accent. I have an accent too. I'm Hungarian by nationality. I moved to the US all by myself in 2003. And then fast forward a few years, I got licensed in 2011. I was that broke agent for a long time, and I had to, not a long time, but for a while, I should say. And I had to figure out how to make a name for myself, right? Because I'm no loser. Like, I am very competitive, and if I'm doing something, I'm going to be on the top of the list or not on the list at all. So I knew I don't have the option of not making it. I have to make it, and so then I had to figure out what is going to be my avenue, right? Because I didn't like buying leads is not my thing. Learning scripts is not my thing. Begging a stranger for their business is not my thing. And door knocking is not my thing. And cold calling is not my thing. And farming an area is not my thing. And it's a long list of things that I wasn't going to do, right? So I figured it out with the process of elimination, what I'm not willing to do. So then very quickly I had to come to a conclusion, what am I willing to do? And what can I afford? At the time we were brokered and broke. We had like $7 to our names between my husband and I. And so I reverted to social media because I didn't know anyone, right? I had no sphere. I had no college friends. I had nobody that's going to buy a house from me, right? I did. Still to the day, today, I don't have anyone who's related to me on this whole continent. No one.
Not yet.
Not yet. So, I mean, I created my own little family, right? And I created friends who are family, but I didn't have anyone. So getting into sales and not having a sphere, nor having money and having an accent with the name that people can't pronounce. I mean, I pretty much had everything going against me, right? And then I found Facebook. I started my Facebook business page pretty much, I would say probably 2003, if not 2004, right after I got licensed. And ever since then, I mean, I always did everything with the power of Facebook. And then eventually I took my party over to Instagram. Now I use Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Pretty much put it this way, anything that I have today from, I mean, money-wise, right? Like everything that I have achieved, I achieved it with the power of social media. So I give all the credit to social media. You can use it in multiple different ways, right? So I have multiple revenues of income, many are affiliate income. So you can get paid that way. All of our commissions are organically generated. I don't run ads for commission, or I should say don't run ads for lead generation, nor for agent attractions. The only ads that you ever see from me is for my boot camps or the social media side or the agent attraction boot camp to generate more students for the course. And And that's about it. So my goal is to spread the word about organic social media. We do teach in my bootcamp, how to run ads and things like that, but I personally never done that. So when I teach in the course, I teach organic social media marketing. And so everything that I have today got based off of social media, and I guess building a brand out of hot air, as I like to say, right? Because Gogo doesn't exist. Like, Gogo is a name, it's a nickname people gave me because they can't pronounce my name, right? So my real name was Joined. My nickname at home was Yuyu, but nobody can say Joined. Nobody can say Yuyu. So they asked me, I came as an au pair originally, and my host parents asked me if they could call me Gogo out of my Hungarian nickname Yuyu. And I said, sure. So that's how Gogo started. And so Gogo's Real Estate is a brand that I created out of hot air.
Yeah, and you say you're giving all the credit to social media, but I think you need to give a bit of credit to yourself as well, because as you said, you began social media without having a sphere and a social sphere, and we all know our first followers, they're going to be our close friends or our close family, and without those first followers, it's like, where are we going to start? So like, how was that first, let's say, how was that first month? How did you start in the world of social media? Because it's amazing what you reached out to today.
Well, I kind of just looked at it from the perspective that who's going to buy a house from me, right? Like, I don't know anyone. Who's going to be strangers? Where do I find strangers? Facebook at the time, right? So I was like, okay, so how do they find me, right? Because I can't reach out to you because I have no money to advertise. Right? I was broke. So I was like, how are these strangers going to find my Facebook? And so I just started to keep posting, right? And I always was like, and I also was like, not only do I don't have the money to run ads, but I also have no knowledge to share. Like, I'm a brand new agent. Like, what am I going to talk about, right? Why should someone on earth work with me versus working with someone who's been in the industry longer than I've been alive? I mean, the brokers that I was working with, their top producers, been in the industry literally longer than I've been alive. Right? So I was like, why on earth would someone work with me? And I just said, the one thing that should be your base when you decide to do social media is the good, bad, and the ugly. Right? You have to say the truth and the truth alone, because the truth always comes to surface. So if you can't just honor that, so I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to own up to it. Then I'm a brand new agent. And here I am hustling to build a brand. And here I am hustling to earn your trust and earn your business. So then every day I would just post something that I learned. Right? So I was like, did you know that blah, blah, blah. So I would go have lunch with the title company, learn something about title, and I would make a video about that or post about that. Next day I go have lunch with an investor, then I post a video about that. The next day I'll go have lunch with a lender, then I post a video about that. The next day I go have lunch with so-and-so, I post a video about whatever I learned that day, right? And the more and more you do where the information comes through your mouth, that makes you an expert. So the more you do of that over time, you're going to earn their trust. You just have to stick it out in the industry for a while, right? And I also signed up at the time. I also signed up for all kinds of, we had like a lead generation service inside of real estate one. I can't remember what they were called. But it's kind of like an app city that we have here at EXP, right? Where they would feed you leads. You didn't have to pay for the leads up front, but if and when you close them, they would take 35%. And so I did a lot of those transactions first, right? But then I would take those transactions and I just closed, and I would have my closing photo, and I would do my bragging rights, right? My shameless self-promotion. And then I would tag the person that I just closed with, and then their friends see it, and then their friends follow me. And then, so it's just snowball effects out of taking one step that turns into the next step that turns into the next step. And you have to be really good with the shameless self-promotion, right? Because if I don't brag about myself to you today, do you know how cool I am?
Well, I don't think so. So yeah, grab it is.
Yeah, would you know of my accolades if I didn't brag about it?
Exactly.
Right? You wouldn't. So I think that's where people go wrong, is they don't feel comfortable with doing the shameless self-promotion, and you have to get really comfortable with that, right? All I do is the humble brag all day, every day. Like, this is what I achieved today. This is what I did today. This is why you should work with me. I got a 5-star review. I did this. I'm number 1 in the state. I'm number 16 in the nation, and right? So, but if I don't do that, nobody has a way of knowing. Mm-hmm. Right? Of why on earth they should work with me.
Yeah, and that goes without saying. It's applicable to everyone. not only you, of course, but it's applicable to everyone that is trying to grow their social media and try to grow their brand, their personal brand.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And
So that's how it started. And here we are, social media queen of real estate.
I thought you were gonna come here with the crown.
I should have like a crown, right? I didn't. Nobody sent me one.
Not yet. But tell me, yesterday was your 3rd anniversary in EXP, right?
Yes.
So I want to say my congratulations, first of all.
You.
I'm not going to sing happy birthday because we're short on time, but I want to say my congratulations, and I guess you already achieved so much. And my question is more on the reason that you actually chose to move to EXP Realty, because you were already in Keller Williams. You are already kind of a social media guru back then. You are already attracting agents there. So why did you make the move to EXP Realty?
Yeah, I mean, I like to say you don't know what you don't know, right? And when I joined Keller, so a little history about my real estate career. I joined with a company called Real Estate One from day one. They were amazing to me. I had no reason to leave. I was called the $1 million baby in the office, and I had a large corner office. Like literally I could do whatever I wanted, right? I had a very good cap, a very good cut. I had no reason to leave. I stayed with them for 7.5 years. And every time I closed a deal, Keller tried to recruit me, Real Estate One or Remax tried to recruit me. Like I would get all of those recruiting calls all the time, but they couldn't touch my cap, right, with a 6-foot pole. So I'm like, you can't afford me. I'm not going from a 9,000 cap to 27,000 cap. Like I would be stupid, right? And then fast forward, I stayed at Real Estate One for 7.5 years. And at the time, so this is February of 18. At that time, I had about 30-some thousand followers, and I was having, hey, I want to become a realtor all the time. And I would recommend agents in different states, and go talk to Keller here, or talk to Gogo Banker there, or talk to Remax here, or because I didn't have affiliation. The company I was working with, it's a Michigan state company, right? So unless they were in Michigan local to me, I could recommend them to Real Estate One, which I did, many agents. But if they were out of state, I just recommended them whoever had like a best presence online, right? And I realized it's a lot of time. So if I'm talking to an agent and I'm guiding them through the whole process, and it's going to take me an hour or two, right, of my time, in that hour, I could sell a house. And that's kidding. That's $10,000 my average commission, right? So if I'm taking these 2 hours, because I love this industry and I want everybody who wants to be a realtor become a realtor, right? Now I'm taking that 2 hours away from my family and my opportunity to go sell a next house. So I can help another person become a licensed agent, but I'm not getting paid for that time. So then the question was, do I want to get paid for the time, or am I doing this from the kindness of my heart? But at the same time, I have a family to feed, right? So I can't take that time away and now not feed my kids, right? So I came to the conclusion that I want both. I want to be able to make money, but I also want to help people become a licensed agent and help recommend them to brokerages and get paid for that time. So in February of 18, I switched to Keller. For the profit share reason. So I went from a 9,000 cap to a 21,000 cap. So it makes sense, right? Yeah. But with the idea that I'm going to continue doing transactions, I've always been good with transactions, so I didn't need help with that, right? But with the ability that I'm going to be able to attract agents to Keller Williams and I get paid profit share. So that opened up my eyes to the opportunity that you can make money in multiple ways, not just commission. So I switched to Keller in February of 18. And then if it wasn't for my eyes already being open to profit share and my ability to understand how that works, I probably would have never looked at revenue share, right? So now I knew something that opened my eyes to the opportunity to be even curious about something else. Because if I didn't have a clue about profit share, I probably would have never looked at revenue share, right? So then in the same year, February of 18, I went to Keller. And then November of 18, I came to EXP. So it was the office, the Keller office that I joined. The week when I joined them, Mark Z and Curtis Shewell is my direct sponsor, runs the Mark Z team. They were leaving that Keller Williams office. So everybody was talking about them. And I figured, I'm like, well, where are they going, right? Like this, they are the largest team in the state of Michigan. And I thought Mark was opening his own brokerage, Come to find out he was coming to EXP. So Kurt 6 months later reached out to me. First, I was not interested at all. I would never come to EXP, right? Many of us said that. And then Kurt was able, right, to present it to me in a way that nobody was able to show me in the past. And so it opened up my eyes to it. I researched a lot more. So about 6 weeks later, you can't unsee it after you see it, right? So it haunted me. And on November 1st, I pulled the trigger, or October 25th, I think I pulled the trigger. So my official anniversary date is November 1st. And it was the best, hands down, hands down, whatever they say.
Hands down.
The best, heads down, right? Real estate decision of my career.
Nice. And here you are now, 3 years and 1 day later, happy as you are.
Best decision ever made.
And yeah, so now let's get down to some knowledge. Now, you're not a broke agent, you're not a new agent, you are an experienced one with a lot of knowledge to share. And this is what we want for the podcast. So I want to start with lead generation strategies. And so you performed your lead generation strategies in social media. I want to go straight to the point and say, what is the most efficient one?
So I think both, right? Like I can't say most efficient because not both. I use 3, right? So I think it's very, very important to have a presence on all 3. Instagram being the most free, right? So you can be yourself. You can be in a bathing suit poolside with a mimosa and talk about lead generation and talking about your sellers and buyers in Florida, right? Or you can do your job on the beach, right? That's Instagram. Facebook, it's a little bit more like businessy, right? So on Facebook, you're not going to see me in my bathing suit. You're going to see me in my bathing suit on Instagram. And LinkedIn is like the most professional version of that. So the higher income, the educated people, they are mostly on LinkedIn. And for that, you have to fit in, right? So the way I describe it, I'm like, if you ever had a corporate America job or a job where you had HR, right? Human resources department, approving your every step you take, right? That's LinkedIn. LinkedIn, I'm like, if HR would approve my post, right, I would put it on LinkedIn. So you have to see where you fit in, but I strongly recommend to use all 3 because it's a different crowd. And we have a schedule. So on the Gogo's real estate team, our agents have a weekly schedule and they have to obey by it. So every Monday. And what I'm saying here is, first of all, is business page, not personal ever. When I talk about posting, I'm talking about business pages, not personal. And second, when I say we have a posting schedule, all of those links come from KV Core. So KV Core is the website that EXP gives to every EXP agent, and it has a lead capturing ability where many of other websites don't. So our weekly posting schedule: Monday, they post a listing. Tuesday, we post one of our listings. Wednesday, we post search for homes. Thursdays, we post open houses. And Fridays, we post how much your home is worth. And we do that every single week. So our consumer probably doesn't feel like there's a method to the madness, right? Because they're just seeing a new post day in and day out, but there's definitely method to the madness. There's schedule behind posting. And then, so that's what my team does, right? And that is for our local lead generation. But I also do a lot of things, right? So I do selling my boot camps. I do agent attraction. I go on podcasts. I go and speak at events. So all of those things that I do, I post. So that automatically feeds from, I always use Instagram, and then automatically it linked together with my Facebook business page, both of them being business pages. So what I post on Instagram automatically goes over to Facebook. And then I have a virtual assistant who takes it from Facebook and posts it on LinkedIn.
Okay, so it seems a complex process, but a doable one. Of course, scheduling, when you say, of course, this is our schedule, it does seem very concise and very strict. But of course, until you reach that schedule, you had to try a lot of different things, right? For you to reach the most efficient.
Why do you have to reach your schedule? Put in your calendar, it's a schedule, get it done.
Okay, so you never tried to mix it up a bit, the schedule to see if, I don't know, imagine you put how much your home is worth on Monday instead of Friday. Will that make a difference or no?
We didn't change it because it's working, but I'm not saying don't change it, right? Change it. If it doesn't work, change it. But if it does work, why?
Yeah, right? If it's working, don't change it. Yeah,
but I want you to get into the habit. The point here is creating habit. The point here is honoring something because consistency is key. Right? So if you don't have a schedule, then today you might say, I feel lazy today. I don't feel like doing it, right? Tomorrow you might be like, I have a headache. I don't feel like getting on video. The next day you might be like, you know what I mean? So if you don't have a schedule, you have nothing to honor.
Exactly.
I don't care which direction you post it, and I don't care if you put your listings on Monday. Do it that way. Just do it.
Exactly. I was just checking.
Yeah.
So when it comes to Instagram and even Facebook, it also happens. But Instagram, it seems that the algorithm changing as more sudden and more relevant changes. And of course, in order for you to earn your gold medal, you need to be aware of those changes. So can you guide us at least through, right now we are in November 2021. What is the latest updates we need to be aware?
Yeah, so I don't run business that way. The way I look at things, right? How I figured out Instagram, right? I push the buttons. So today you wake up and you open your Instagram and you're like, oh, there's a button that wasn't there yesterday, right? Like, what does it do? And then you look at it, what does it do? And suddenly you're like, oh, I can tag location. How cool. Let me see how it works. And then I push it, right? So I always say, be like that annoying 3-year-old that is like, oh, there's a button. Push it. See what happens. Right. So it's not like I sit around. I have actually never in my career, now when you ask me this question, I have never in 11 years Googled Instagram algorithms updates. Never, never. I don't think it's important. I think what's important is to stay consistent, right? When you stay consistent, those changes are automatically going to pop up and you're going to notice them because there's going to be a button there that wasn't there yesterday.
Yeah, and I think it's every new feature, it's very intuitive. And even, of course, you don't need to search how to do a Reels, like, because it's very intuitive. Like it's just there.
Push it right there. It says, save this song. Okay, why would I save the song, right? So then you can create that same reel, right?
Yeah.
So I do the same thing. I'm just log in there and I push some buttons. I'm like, oh, this is new. Let's see what it does. And that's how it happens. Because it's not like Instagram sends me a special note. Oh, honey, we added this feature to your stories. You might want to check it out. No, they don't do that, right? It's like everybody gets the same features at the same time. And if you push the buttons and you live with the opportunity, good. If not, oh, sorry, something just pop up on my end, then that's it, right? So I don't do algorithms in the sense of, reading newspaper articles about how Instagram just changed something today. I log in and I see they changed it and I push the button and see how.
Gogo, I really like how are you going with this? You seem very down to earth, like social media. We imagine, imagine these people that it's very focused on this and it's not pretense.
People overthink it. People overthink it.
Yeah,
and they don't
overthink
on it, right? Because it looks like this big scary monster. Because when you open it, you're like, there's a million buttons. I don't know what to push, right? Well, push the first one and see what happens. And then tomorrow push another one. And then tomorrow push another one. And eventually you're going to run out of buttons to push. And by that time, you figured out all of the buttons. But if you get into a schedule, right, you are forced to figure these out. So if today I have to post a listing, now suddenly I have to sit in front of and be like, how do I do that? Right? But next week, Monday, you're going to know exactly what to do because you figured it out. And then you're going to take it one step further and you're going to be like, I wonder if I can schedule these ahead of time. Right? And then you go and find a scheduling app and you plug your links and it's going to schedule it for you every single Monday. So my goal is to systematize your life. My life is like an autopilot, right? For many things I still physically have to do myself. But most of the things, if it can have a system around it, it has a system around it.
Nice. So we understand, what app do you use to schedule your posts?
Instagram.
No, but do you use any
schedule it? I don't personally schedule it. My team does. I think just right inside of Facebook.
Okay.
Like there's a scheduling feature right inside of Facebook. So you can do it from Facebook over to Instagram or from Instagram over to Facebook. It's your choice. So when I post personally, I don't schedule everything I do. It's organic right at the moment, whatever I feel like it, I post it. And I always start from Instagram and goes over to Facebook. But my team schedule where they have to do the listings on Monday, listing on Tuesday, search for homes, open houses, and how much your home is worth, those can be scheduled. So they can pre-schedule the whole month. Now think of it this way. Can the listings post be scheduled? Not really, because the listing you're going to find today, it's not going to be on the market 4 Mondays ago or 4 Mondays from now, right? So that can't be automated because you're going to have to physically go in there and find that link because homes sell like this. It's not on the market anymore, right? So those you can't. But for example, how much your home is worth, it's the same link. It's the same link. It just has to be posted every single Friday. So there's no reason why you can't schedule that ahead of time. So every Friday, post this link with this, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And you also want to change it up a bit, right? Like you don't want to do it the same description every week. You want to change it up a little bit, but the scheduling can be done. And for what app they use, I don't know. Oh, I know, Facebook.
Yeah, you already told us.
Yeah.
Now, moving a bit with the blah blah blah. Now more into agent attraction is in the. How do you manage to grow your brokerage and your team? What is the social media role in all of this?
Yeah. So when I decided to do social media, I decided to do the good, bad, and the ugly. Right. So I share a lot of knowledge about social media, and over time they follow me, right? They come back for more because there's a video that I posted about something that they really like. So they start following me, and then I post something else and they continue seeing everything that I do. And over the years, I have earned their trust because I was consistent. I stayed in front of them and I shared. So eventually they'll be ready. And I post about EXP all the time. It's not like, hey, join me at EXP. It's never like that. It's usually like, hey, we have health insurance. Do you have health insurance at your brokerage? If not, you might want to consider EXP, right? Next day it might be, and I don't do EXP every single day, but periodically I'll throw something. Like yesterday I had my 3-year anniversary. It was an EXP post, but today I'm going to share a 10-minute training. So I did an hour and 22-minute training, and I'm going to take 10 minutes portion of that and post it onto my Instagram, and then take them over to YouTube to watch the whole video if they would like. So you kind of have to sprinkle it in there, right? I call it fishing. Think of it this way. Today you might fish with a hot dog. Tomorrow you might fish with a bait. Then you might fish with corn, and then you might fish with bread. And you're going to take, try different baits and see which one they bite, but eventually they're going to bite. So that's it. I just talk about EXP, and I talk about my success here with EXP and all of the features, right? All of the benefits that this company gives us. And then one day they're going to bite. So for that, we have a website. So mine is gogobethke.com. You can go ahead and check it out. And then when you go to the partner with me page on that website, that is built all around EXP. So if someone messages me and says, okay, Gogo, I watched long enough, what is this EXP thing? I'll send them to that page, www.gogobethke.com or .org/partner, and then they get to watch it, right? They watch all the videos, and if and when they're interested after watching all of those videos, they plug themselves into my calendar. So I don't call it recruiting, I call it agent attraction, because I didn't reach out to a single person. They reach out to me, and I have personally sponsored over 150 in my front line, and now I help my husband do the same, and he's at 20, I think. Yeah. So that's it. Same thing as fishing for leads, right? Now you're fishing for agents.
Yeah, and again, you have a very nice system in control of this lead generation into lead conversion. So yeah, I can see you seem really passionate for your systems and products.
Yeah, it's because you know the saying, the best marketer wins. So it's one thing to market, but if you can't capture the information, or if you don't have systems in places, what happens after they're like, okay, I'm ready, I want to talk to you about EXP. Now what? You don't have a Calendly link to send to them. You don't have a website to send to them to watch videos. You don't have, you have to have those things. Like otherwise you're working so hard at the front end, and when they are finally ready, you have no ways to convert them.
Exactly. You got to be ready when they say yes.
Yes.
Nice, Gogo. So I know we both have a meeting soon. So let me just ask you, where do you go from here? What are your goals? What do you want to achieve?
So we always wanted to live in Florida. And so with that, we are building a home now in Florida, and we're going to live down there for 6 months in the winter. So no more winters for us. And then we're going to live back here in Michigan in the summertime. And I also usually go home in the summertime to Transylvania. So like that is like our next reachable goal. Our home is finished being built in January. So we are very excited about that. I would truly like a little bit more time freedom, because I worked so hard for financial freedom, time freedom, and location freedom. And I feel like we have achieved the time, or the financial and the location. Time freedom, I don't know what you call time freedom, but let me show you my calendar.
It doesn't look like you're very free.
It's not time freedom, right? So what I'm trying to achieve, I guess, is to not have so much on my calendar, right?
And
So then I can,
so we can be a little proactive here. How do you plan to achieve that?
is building more systems, hiring more people. So anything that can be systematized, right? Get it done. Removing it from my calendar, trying to schedule things all in one day. So I think what I'm trying to achieve eventually is that everything I do is going to be on a Wednesday. I'm just going to squeeze it all in 16 hours a day. And, that's going to be as good as it's going to get. And then I have pretty much Thursday to Tuesday off.
Sounds like a good life in that sense.
And then also, you're going to need help. Like, you can't possibly do all this by yourself. We have a lot of virtual assistants and a lot of assistants here locally. We have two house assistants. I have my right hand, Christy, my left hand, Mariana. And then we have probably an additional 20, if not 30 virtual assistants between all of my businesses. So it's a lot of help, right? So I can't remove things still need to get taken care of. It just doesn't need to be taken care of by me.
Exactly.
Or can somebody else do the job, right? So if somebody else can do the job, my goal is in the next year or two to remove as much from my calendar as I can, so that I can truly have all of the freedoms, right? Location, time, and financial.
And when it comes to agents and the production, is there any objectives you have already lined up for next year?
So we do a lot of training in Team Gogo. So I have two teams, right? So I have two different responsibilities. So Gogo's real estate team is my local team right here in Michigan. And those are all of the transactions that I naturally and organically generate. And then Clancy is our listing and buyer specialist, and she runs them, and then Christy, and she runs those transactions. So I'm still very much involved. I have one weekly meeting with them. And then I have Clancy via phone calls, right? With anything marketing or negotiations, because those are my two best skills. So that's where I get involved when it comes to the real estate transactions. But other than that, we have virtual assistant, we have a transaction coordinator, Clancy has it handled. So that side of my business works without me. I really just get involved if I absolutely have to, right? If they need marketing help, if they need negotiations help. And then once a week, we have a team meeting to kind of see where we are going, how all the leads are working, all of those things. And then as for Team Gogo, which is the organization I started building here at EXP after I switched over, in that group, we also have multiple VAs. So we have Saeed, who does all of our technology. We're also hiring another person this week who's going to help everybody, the team members, with their technology stuff. We have Christy, my right hand. We have Ellen, who does all of our designs, celebrations, birthdays, top agent, top producer, top agent attractor, who iconned, all of those things. And then we have Mariana. And do we have anybody else on that team? So I think that's it. So we have about 5-6 of us, right, who runs Team Gogo. And again, that could easily run without me. We have a weekly schedule for training. Every Tuesday, we do icon training. Every Wednesday, we do a production training. Every Thursday, we do Tech Thursday. And then every Friday, we do an agent attraction mastermind. So truly, all of these can be done without me, because for most of them, we have guests. So Mariana, for example, could run it. When I travel, she does run it, so I don't have to be present. But about 2 of them, almost every week, I do attend. So I have still things that I have to physically be there. But eventually, who knows, I wouldn't have to be in every single training, right? So if we have all of the right people in places and all of the right guests get invited, and they are more of like a podcast style like this, right? Mariana could be running it. That will give me that freedom that I'm working for. So there's still a lot on my calendar, but I think over time, with the right people in place and the right systems in places, it can be removed from my calendar. And so it will give me that time freedom.
Exactly. And I hope you'll get it. And delegation is indeed very important to run a business. And if that's what you need to get better, then get right to it.
So I don't have any intentions of removing all of the benefits that we are doing, right? That is not my goal. My goal is to be able to keep everything that we are offering, just me physically not have to be there for every single one of them.
Exactly. And now, Gogo, I guess it's your time to shine. So how can our audience reach you? If you can name the social media that we can get in touch with you.
Absolutely. So you can Google Gogo's real estate, right? Everywhere. Gogo Bethke is my name. But if you want to get me personally, Instagram is the only account that I respond to DMs personally. On every other account, I have virtual assistants. You can still get to me, but through a virtual assistant. So if you want me directly, Instagram is your best bet.
And yeah, thank you, Gogo, for coming here. and yeah, köszönöm in Hungarian.
Nagyon szívesen. Thank you. Én is köszönöm. Thank you so much for having me.
And yeah, thank you for the knowledge as well. I know our audience loved as much as I did. And yeah, and if you get some followers over our account, we'll be happy, and hope to see you in the future.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Bye, Thomas.
Bye.